What's going on, everyone? So Austin Reaves receives Lakers' $2.2 million qualifying contract offer, will become restricted free agent. Rui Hachimura as well has become a restricted free agent after the qualifying offer of $7.7 million from the Lakers. So the Lakers' plan is to re-sign and potentially match Rui Hachimura and specifically Austin Reaves. We've seen countless reports of the Lakers planning to match whatever it is for Austin Reaves. He could get to about 4 years, $100 million. He's going to get matched. Looks like the Lakers have a cutoff for Rui Hachimura, but they look to match somewhere in the 15 to 18 million range, although we have had some reports that have said that they will match anything 20 million or less. So as long as he doesn't get like 4 years, 25 million a year at 100 million, then we'll probably keep Rui Hachimura a long time too. Now, Austin Reaves' contract and Rui Hachimura's are going to be very interesting, and we're going to dive into that in a second. But I want to relate because I've seen a lot of confusion about the qualifying offers and contracts. I've seen a lot of people just really not understand what that is or what that means. If you're somebody that understands and what that means, well, then just bear with me for 1 second as I explain that, and then we'll dive into the conversation. But basically, what the qualifying offer is it's basically their minimum offer that is needed to make them a restricted free agent. That's the simplification of what that offer is. It's not necessarily the offer that it entails to like, hey, here is how much we're going to pay you, and another team comes in and just basically outbids them. No, it's not even a real offer. It's what is the minimum required to extend them as a restricted free agent. If they don't meet that qualifying offer, then they become an unrestricted free agent, and that means they could just go anywhere and the Lakers have no way to match or retain them. Now, it is possible Rui just takes that $7.7 million or Austin Reaves takes that $2.2 million, but in reality, that's not going to happen. So again, that's like an oversimplification of it, but gives people an understanding of like, okay, so it's not an offer. It's not like, here's our offer for the deal. No, they could go to Austin Reaves and just say, hey, here's 4 years, $100 million. Let's just get out the way. Same thing with Rui. Here's, 4 years, $60 million. Let's just get it out the way. But as far as these contracts go and what we're going to see from Rui and Austin Reaves, the Lakers want to keep their core players intact. So Rui, Reaves, specifically D'Angelo Russell, looks like they're going to want to keep him. Jarred Vanderbilt is supposed to be being kept long term. He has a $4.7 million contract that they are going to keep him long term, and then he qualifies for an extension as high as 4 years, $71 million. Now, that again doesn't mean that that's what he's going to get. He is nowhere near that amount. He'll probably get something, unless he just has some like crazy year, he'll probably get somewhere, in my guess, like 4 years, $40 million, maybe 4 years, like $45 million, something like that. He'll probably get somewhere in like the 10 to 12 million a year range because he is very young. He is very talented on the defensive end and is a quality piece. If he can develop a little bit of an offensive game, then I think he would be a tremendous player in this league. But yes, so far what the players that you can count on being on the roster, going to be LeBron James, obviously, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Jarred Vanderbilt, Austin Reaves, the new draft picks in Jalen Schifino and Maxwell Lewis. Those 7 guys. Then Rui Hachimura, I imagine he sticks around, and then we will see what happens with D'Angelo Russell. So you have your core guys right there. You have your youth, you have your talent, you have now just the filling out of the roster. Now, I imagine, not going to be relying heavily on Schifino and Lewis. I do think and could see them getting some playtime. Same thing with Max Christie. I could see Max Christie getting some playtime, getting some rotation minutes. But in reality, they're probably going to be looking for other veteran guys, other guys that come in and make an impact, preferably the center position. We're going to need a backup point guard. I see a lot of people that are like, why do Lakers keep targeting guards? Because they're probably losing Dennis Schroeder, right? At this point, he's worth more than what the Lakers can actually pay him. And so he's going to probably go elsewhere. And so the Lakers are going to need a backup point guard. Whoever that may be, we will see. Obviously, Shafino, I could see him getting some minutes in that point guard position. You do have other guys, LeBron, Austin Reaves, D'Angelo Russell will very likely be our starting point guard. There are options there if they didn't get another point guard, but it would be nice to actually have a point guard. But I fully expect core guys intact. I don't see Rui and Reaves going anywhere. They were very important, very impactful in the Lakers' playoff run. Rui Hachimura has really advanced and evolved. Rui Hachimura has backed out of playing in the FIBA World Cup for Japan. He wants to focus on this upcoming season and focus on being a better NBA player, which is great to hear, right? We all want that too, especially if he's staying with the Lakers. We want him to continue to improve and get better, and I love that he, instead of going and playing for Japan, he wants to focus on getting better, improving his game, and being the best player he can be for the Lakers this upcoming season. That helps a lot. That's exciting. He was phenomenal in the playoffs. But can he take that playoff success and translate it to the regular season? Because that's been the thing. He's been okay in the regular season. He's been great in the playoffs. He's been almost a completely different player in the playoffs. And not even just for the Lakers. I'm talking about even the Washington Wizards. I got a lot of credit for, before we got into the playoffs, I made a whole video breaking down Rui Hachimura and talking about how he was going to be one of the biggest impact players for the Lakers in the playoff run. And he was. And it wasn't that, I just had a bunch of faith in Rui Hachimura. It wasn't that, I was just this, that, and the other. No, it was this has been his track record. So until I see otherwise, it's a good bet that he's going to be this great player in the playoffs. And that's exactly what he was. And again, can he take that and play that way for the regular season? Because if he can, then the Lakers are going to be very good. Now, he has, since he came to Lakers, actually improved. He was actually really good defensively, especially at that power forward spot. He still has his struggles against quicker players, right? I don't think Rui Hachimura is a 3. He has the size to play the 3. To an extent, he has some advantages at playing the 3, but defensively, he's probably best at the 4, being your 4. Just because Rui Hachimura, his size is the size of pretty much most of the 4s in the league today. And a lot of them can't guard Rui Hachimura. And also, again, he's not as quick-footed. He's very strong, very physical, hard to move. He was doing a great job against Jokic, and Jokic is a much bigger body than Rui, but his strength allows him to physically hold his own. But out on the perimeter, that's where he kind of struggles, guarding those kind of twitchier forwards. So I do, which is fine. I mean, we need a power forward, a backup power forward for LeBron, and very likely LeBron is potentially leaving after this year, if not 2 more years. So then Rui can immediately step in, and Rui will probably play big minutes, and even in small ball lineups, he could play the 5. He was really good at that for the Lakers, so he'll get his minutes. I'm not worried about that. And then Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves was one of, if not our most consistent guy, right, in the playoffs, and really emerged in that back half of the season. Now, he did have that stretch where he was really bad in the playoffs, but over the course of the entirety of the playoffs, he was very good, right? Had those, 2-3 game stretch where he was rough, but outside of that, he was able to fight through that, play through that, and then he was right back to being Austin Reaves. And he was closing out games for the Lakers, taking over quarters. He was absolutely brilliant. He earned his payday. I don't think he's $100 million, 4 years, $100 million contract guy, but he could get there, and it's better to give him that than risk losing him for nothing. Because worst case, let's say he doesn't really improve, he just stays the guy that he is, which is a very good player. there are teams that would want him. And so he'll have some value on the trade market. And if he does get better, hopefully he does end up getting into that level of player that matches the contract. But Austin Reaves, his versatility, his ability to play point guard at times if you need him to, shooting guard, even in certain matchups, play the small forward position. Again, you don't want him playing that a lot, but like in the Golden State series, right? He was guarding the like Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson at times when Klay was playing. So it just depends on the matchups. But it's more so his versatility, his ability to play multiple positions, be a guy that can score and put the ball in the hoop, make plays for himself, make plays for others. But there is the concern of that regression year, right? And it's something that I've touched on here and there, because it is something that is of concern, right? Again, he kind of just came out of left field that in the back half of the season and then in the playoffs. So this year, teams are going to be scouting him. He's going to be on the scouting report. Teams are going to be actually making game plans defensively to try to slow Austin Reaves down. So how does he overcome that? I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying that he can't be that guy. But if you give him 4 years, $100 million, and he's a 12-point-a-game guy, now he is extremely overpaid, and that becomes a problem. So it's just stuff to keep in mind, but you can't lose them. Got to keep these guys, got to keep it intact, and I fully trust that the Lakers are going to do so. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. You happy with this news? Do you think, yes, keep Rui, keep Austin Reaves, keep Jarred Vanderbilt? Do you think, no, you can't overpay these guys? I feel whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below.